Hi, Take the Leap listeners. Thanks for putting Ashlyn and I in your ears again today. Before we jump into this episode, we wanted to let you know that we've created a fun freebie just for you. If you've been thinking about launching your side gig or small business, we've got a free video training just for that called 9 Steps to Launch Your Business. You can sign up for that video now at www.taketheleap-today.com/webinar to get instant access. You'll also receive 2 free modules from our signature Take the Leap course. Thanks, and now back to the episode.
Take the Leap is the podcast where we get real about the roller coaster that is entrepreneurship and life. Sure, some folks make running a business look like a walk in the park, but let's be honest, it's more like a wild ride through a theme park with a lot of unexpected twists and turns.
Join us, your co-hosts, Ashlan
and Tory,
as we spill the beans on our own real-life experiences and shine a spotlight on some amazing guests. From the highs of success stories to the lows of epic failures. And hey, we'll even throw in some cringe-worthy, laugh-out-loud, embarrassing moments for good measure.
So buckle up and tune in every Tuesday and Thursday for a dose of raw, unfiltered truth about what it's really like to chase your dreams and build a business.
Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just dipping your toes into the startup world, we've got something for everyone. Even if it's just to make you think, wow, I'm glad I didn't do what they did.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Take the Leap podcast. Hi, Ashlyn. How are you this week?
I'm doing good. I'm really, actually, I haven't told you this yet today. I'm really excited. We have friends who are going to have dinner with us that are from Portland who are coming in tonight. So we get to go to a fancy Italian restaurant, which we should go to when you guys come too, actually.
That sounds great.
But yeah, I'm just putting it into the universe. You are coming in September.
I am coming. We're just going to make it happen.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to. His work usually, I know we're going off on a weird tangent for our listeners here. I'm going to go visit Ashland because my husband is going to a conference in Vegas. And so we're going to make it a family vacation out of it so that we can see Ashland more than anything.
Yeah. I want to take advantage of the pool at your hotel and casino. And then,
because we're staying at Caesar's Palace. I'm pretty sure they have a good pool.
They do. I have not been to their pool yet, but I've seen it from the windows. Yeah. It looks,
I love Caesar's Palace. We didn't stay there last time, but we spent a lot of time and there. Like, we just liked the inside there a lot better than where we were staying. So
totally.
Yeah, it's nice there.
Yeah. And it's right next to the Bellagio should have some cool little flower installation. So yeah,
nice.
We'll definitely have to do like a day with you on this trip and then steal you away to the other parts of Vegas.
That would be really fun.
Yeah.
We would really like that.
Yes.
We'd love that.
Well,
anyway, thanks for going on that journey with us, listeners. Today, the purpose of our episode is we're digesting a recent episode we had with Ozma. And I think it was from the date of when this publishes. It's probably been a couple weeks now, at least. So it does feel like a little bit of time has passed, but if you haven't listened to that episode yet, please go check it out because our conversation with her was so incredible. And one of the things that she introduced to us that I love is what she calls the Queen List. And the Queen List includes 3 non-negotiable daily practices for her that kind of foster this sense of calm and joy and alignment. And so she encouraged us to create that and encourages everybody to create that. So like for her, some of the ideas that she had were like dancing in the morning and meditation and taking a nature walk. And like we talked when we were on the podcast, you had talked about like your morning pages, which you actually really inspired me. And I know you use your Remarkable, but I actually have a ton of these little notebooks and they just make me feel like I'm Jane Austen or something in the morning, just like
Nice.
writing in like this fancy book. And so I've been doing it because you
Yay!
inspired me. And I'm literally just like, sometimes it's like, I did not want to wake up today. And then other days it's like, it's a little more insightful than that. And then some days too, like you said that you were doing some of your newsletters this way. I actually wrote like 3 of my next blog posts that I'm going to do
Yes.
in here.
Good.
And obviously it's just a draft, and like I probably am like, once I like type it onto the computer, I make a whole bunch of different changes and edits and stuff. But like there's just something about that practice every morning doing that. So you inspired me to do that. So thank you for that.
Yes. And it is part of a well-known book called The Artist Way, which I can never seem to get all the way through. But I am going to be taking it with me this weekend when I go hang out in the casino while John is playing,
Nice.
to try to get through like the next chapter. But yeah, it's a really nice brain dump in the morning. And I literally like sometimes will get like distracted, and I'll just like sit there and just write stuff, and sometimes it's like I'm looking at my calendar and being like, okay, I'm going to be on with Tori later today for podcast stuff. And then like when we started today, when we were just talking about like changes that we want to make to the course and the community, like that was the kind of stuff that comes out. And yeah, it's just such a really nice way to get started in the morning. And then, yeah, so I do those. I listen to music a lot in the morning to like get me into the groove of my day. And then we call it family dog walk time. So because it has started to get really hot here, like it is 95 degrees outside. We haven't seen 100 posted yet on the weather app, but I don't feel like I don't feel like we're far away from the 100-degree weather yet. And
the time of year.
It is the time of year. Yeah. So we've been doing like one kind of long walk with her in the mornings, and then another like kind of longer walk with her, like once the sun has mostly started to go down, like it's starting to set. And it was so cool. We saw bats the other day, like out and just like probably eating bugs. And we were like, that is so cool. So yeah, we didn't see any on our walk last night, but the night before we saw like a few of them.
That's really cool. Yeah. I feel like you never see. I randomly saw a bat in my backyard like a couple years ago, and that was the first time I'd ever seen a bat in my life.
Yeah.
And it was hiding, like I had like those umbrellas that go over the patio, and I was starting to open it, and it flew like into the umbrella, and then I started screeching, and then it like I didn't know what was happening. Yeah. Yeah.
We've been talking about maybe making bat boxes on the side of our, because you can do that on the side of your house. Mostly I'm thinking so that they can eat the mosquitoes, because I hate mosquitoes. But
mosquitoes, yeah, that's right.
Not into them.
Sorry, I love that. No, that's good. I love that. I love just like this concept of a queen list of like, these are non-negotiable for me. I'm doing my morning pages every day. I'm going on my family walk every day, whatever that is for you. And so listeners, I highly recommend implementing this into your life, your queen list or your king list or whatever list you want to call it, just implement these non-negotiables so that you can have like that peace again. And I just really appreciate her for bringing that up for us and bringing that into our lives. So yeah, that was a really cool part of our conversation. And something else she talked about, her like kind of her process. She is she helps people find their balance through their fire, which is kind of your action, and balancing that with your flow, which is intention. And she does that by like creating like these rituals that honor both productivity and rest. So obviously like that queen list is like a really good part of that. But like thinking about like things throughout your day that you can do to have that balance in your life. And so, yeah, what do you think about that, Ashlan? Do you have any thoughts to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just like we have had multiple other entrepreneurs on the podcast talk about is like this idea that rest is really important and that
Mhm.
burnout is really easy to do when you're an entrepreneur. And I think it's an interesting idea of like knowing where that wall is for you. Like I am my human design type is generator, so like I can go a long time like without burning out unless I'm doing something that I don't really want to do or don't like
Yeah.
doing. So like,
Mhm.
I feel like because I'm an entrepreneur and because I get to choose the work and the projects that I work on, I can like I had said last week that my do better is to like stop working so late into the night. But then,
Yeah.
like I come up with excuses like, oh my gosh, it's my web copy and I'm in the flow and I'm gonna just keep working on this, or like I can just answer a couple more of these emails, or and so I've been trying to think about like, well, does it really make sense to answer these at 10 p.m. when all you're gonna do is schedule send them for 8 a.m. tomorrow morning? Could you just do those at 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning? Like just star them in your inbox and like get to them that way. But I feel like it takes a lot of like you being intentional on like understanding yourself and your energy and your emotions when it comes to all of this different stuff that you have to do and work on. And I think as an entrepreneur, the work never ends unless you like legit just don't have any client work, but then you can also work on your own stuff to promote your
Yeah.
business. So like there will always be more tomorrow, and figuring out that it is okay to take those breaks is really important.
Agreed. I love that. That was really well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love that. And then just kind of the last point that we covered, which I really like how she worded this because we've kind of had similar discussions before and it totally makes sense, but I really like how she worded this. She said, know your zone of genius and what you naturally excel at is like crucial for long-term fulfillment. So let that essence guide you, not societal expectations. And I really love this because like one, I think as entrepreneurs, it's so easy to fall into this pattern of like, oh, I can do everything, or like I'll go do this and that and that, and it's like you could do everything, but if that's not your zone of genius,
Mm-hmm.
like again, like we were saying, you're gonna burn out pretty quickly, and if it's not your zone of genius, like you shouldn't be doing it anyway. Like it's like knowing what your strengths are and really capitalizing on that is going to help you go so much further and bring you so much more fulfillment. And I think
Totally.
if you are building your business and your strategy around what your zone of genius is, like you're just going to go further quicker, I think. So, what do you think about that?
I feel like yes, knowing and understanding what you do the best is really important. And I want to put a nod into this is where collaboration can be very, very important in your
Mm,
business. Because one of the things we get to do as being kind of, these fractional folks on the team, right? You're not in it to be the one person that does all these things for your clients or an organization. You can actually bring in people who are better writers, who are better at social media content creation, who are better maybe at strategy, who are better at accounting and like budgeting,
mhm.
like and really lean into building that community of entrepreneurs around you rather than you trying to be the chief everything officer for a business.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm learning to trust and learning to build those relationships, I think is really, really important as well. Like, I mean, there was a many things that I used to say that I could do as a business early on. Some of them I had like legit reasons to say that I could do them because I had done them before, but I just didn't really enjoy them. Other things that I was like, yeah, I need money right now, so I'll figure out how to do that. And then quickly decided I am not doing that anymore. Etsy SEO, it's not really SEO. It's not really a thing. I don't recommend
It's not a thing.
it. Yeah, I recommend that you have your own website if you can. No shade to folks who have Etsy accounts, but it's,
Yep.
it is it is not the same as
Yeah.
a thing. And I quickly learned, I was like, there is not money in that. so yeah. But yeah, understanding that is
yeah,
important.
that
And
whole process on Etsy is kind of, yeah, it's changed so much. It's just not, yeah.
yeah,
I could go off on a soapbox tangent on that
on
just
Etsy,
because we
yeah,
have our own Etsy shop, and
yeah,
yeah, it's, you can't rely on it.
no, it's not the same. But yeah, I think it's really important. And the quicker that you can know and understand what it is that makes you unique and do something the best, the easier that everything else in your business will become. Your marketing, your branding, your strategy, and you'll just be happier, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
when you're not doing a bunch of
Yeah.
shit you have no business doing.
Yeah. Agreed. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, it was a lovely conversation with her. I'm really glad we have that. I hope our audience got a ton out of that conversation as well. If you haven't listened to it, again, please go back and do so because I think you'll really like it. So now, let's wrap up this episode with our favorite of sections, our wins and do betters. Ashlyn, what is your win for this week?
So I had 2 more discovery calls in the last week, one of which is definitely going to start as a client in June, which I'm super
Yay!
excited about. Yeah. Almost, I don't know. I feel like even these most recent discovery calls have been like just really randomly falling in my lap, either people I met through networking or like word of mouth. So like you never know when your, good people around you are going to send you a lead, or somebody who you reached out to, like to collaborate. What did I reach out to her for? I think it was something about May being Asian American Heritage Month. And
Hmm.
yeah, and then she was just like, hey, do you do marketing? And I was like, yeah, of course. And we just had a discovery call. So yeah, you never know where the leads are going to come
Right.
from. But yeah, so one landed, the other one I'm still waiting to hear back, but fingers crossed. And then
Fingers
yeah,
crossed. That's
I
really
know,
exciting.
so exciting for it to like land like right as other things are winding down.
That's great.
Yeah,
It's a good sign.
yeah, yeah. How about you? What's your win for the week?
Well, similarly, I didn't have discovery calls yet, excuse me, but I did catch up with somebody recently. And through that conversation, I had mentioned that um, I was searching for some more clients at the moment. And they came up with a few people and were like, okay, I gave them your information. So fingers crossed that something comes from that. I'm really excited. So I think, yeah, it's just a good reminder that, like, no matter how many processes and systems you have in place, no matter how many plans you have, like, honestly, clients for me have always come from the most random of connections. Like, it's just come from like talking to people
Yeah.
and like word of mouth and things like that. That's been my most successful avenue of getting new clients. And so yeah, if you're a business, service-based business looking for clients, like, don't discount that as
Mhm.
part of your client strategy because you just never know. And sometimes, like, you can meet someone or have a discovery call or like network with a company and they might be interested, but it just might not be the right time. And then, maybe a couple years later, like, you cross paths again and they remember you for being you and for being kind and, all
Mhm.
these things. And they're like, we're actually kind of ready now. So you never know. You never know
Yeah.
how it's going to pan out.
Mhm. Love that.
So, yeah, while we're on that topic, then let's go back into our what's your do better for the week.
Regularly doing admin tasks. So
Fair.
my QuickBooks is a nightmare. I need to do it. I always have like this goal mid-year to be like, don't wait until tax time to do all your stuff. So, but like booking in time for that, I think, so that I'm not playing a ton of catch up, is something that I'm going to try to do better. And I think I just need to put it on my calendar because it really doesn't take that long if you just do it every week. But I'm bad at doing that every week. So
You got this. I have faith in you, and I totally understand the for process of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? What's your do better for this week, Tori?
Yeah, so my do better for this week, because I'm in that the slower season of the business at the moment. I'm doing a lot of work trying to, find clients and things like that. But and I'm also working on my brand and working on new offerings and doing some other projects here and there, and it's been a great time for me to get some stuff done. But on the other hand, I don't know if it's because I have this downtime a little bit that my brain has been kind of doing this like squirrely moment where it's like, oh, maybe we could do this. Maybe we could offer this big thing. Maybe we can start a brand new business over here. Maybe we could do that. And I know that I'm not alone in doing this. And it doesn't always happen even just in the slow times for me. It sometimes happens in the very busy seasons. And I think this is just how my brain works. And I know that a lot of other entrepreneurs can probably relate. We went into our own business for our own reasons. Like we like to create things, right? And so sometimes your brain is just always going and you think of all these cool, fun ideas. And so, this is a really long way of saying that my do better for this week is to stay focused on the things that count, stay focused on the revenue generating things that I'm working on right now, because once I've kind of like gone through that, then I'll have more time and bandwidth to be able to spend on maybe some other fun projects. But until then, I really need to stay focused. And it's just a good reminder to myself. So that is my do better.
Shiny object syndrome is a real thing, and
Yes.
I think it gets both entrepreneurs and non-entrepreneurs at times. So, but yes, working on the fun thing that doesn't make money yet is
yes, yeah.
We like it
the
could.
fun thing that doesn't make money, yeah.
Yeah, but it could.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that. Well, thank you as always, Ashlan. Great conversation. And to everybody listening, if you have any questions, suggestions, if you have a guest you want us to interview, feel free to shoot us a DM or email us at aloha@taketheleap-today.com. And until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Take the Leap podcast. We hope you found useful takeaways you can apply to your entrepreneurial journey. Subscribe so you don't miss future episodes, and keep in touch and follow us on Instagram. If you have business questions, shoot us a direct message or leave us a comment. We'll try to cover it in an upcoming episode. And visit our website, taketheleap-today.com, for more resources like our online course that accompanies this podcast.